Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are completely breaking out of that stagnant paycheck to paycheck cycle and charting a really clear, actionable path to long-term wealth. I mean, if you've ever felt like no matter how much you make, it just kind of slips right through your fingers by the end of the month, you are in the exact right place. We're going to look at a simple but honestly incredibly powerful framework known as the 60/40 rule. And don't worry, this isn't about extreme couponing or depriving yourself of joy. It's about fundamentally rethinking how every single dollar flows through your life. Okay, let's dive into this. What actually happens when your lifestyle consumes 100% of your paycheck? It's a painful reality for so many of us, right? When you spend absolutely everything you earn just to maintain your daily life, your rent, the car, groceries, those weekend outings, it leaves zero pressure and honestly, zero capital to create something bigger. You are essentially just renting your lifestyle month to month. Think about that sinking feeling of waiting for Friday just so you can pay for the previous 2 weeks. You're maintaining the status quo, spinning your wheels with immense effort, but you're never actually moving forward. So, that brings us to section 1, the 100% trap. It really comes down to this profound realization: 100% consumption equals 0% pressure to grow. Now, you might instinctively think, well, I just need to make more money. But simply making more money doesn't actually solve the issue if your lifestyle expenses just automatically rise to gobble up that new income level. We all know how this goes in the real world. You get a well-deserved promotion, right? Say a $500 a month raise. But suddenly that $500 is entirely eaten up by a lease on a slightly nicer car, or maybe moving to an apartment with an extra bedroom. Your consumption stays rigidly locked at 100%. You aren't actually wealthier. Your trap just got a little more expensive and maybe a little more comfortable. There's absolutely no internal mechanism pushing you to break out, because the new money is already spoken for. Let's move to and see how this builds into section 2, the 60/40 solution. And this brilliantly illustrates our way out. Instead of operating from one massive bucket of money that just slowly drains to zero every single month, we need to set a much larger, more deliberate financial target. We do this by completely reallocating your income into two very specific, totally separate buckets: a live on it bucket at 60% and a build your future bucket at 40%. Psychologically, this is a massive shift. You are no longer treating your income as just a single pool of spending money. You're becoming a capital allocator. You're literally taking a surgical approach to your wealth, dividing your earnings before you ever even get the chance to spend them on those fleeting lifestyle upgrades. Let's look at the mechanics of that first bucket, the 60% you actually live on. This means taking only 60% of everything you earn and using it for your lifestyle and expenses. Rent, groceries, entertainment, utility bills, vacations, the whole shebang fits into this strict 60% boundary. Think about it for a second. Could you cap your current lifestyle at just 60% of what you make? It sounds incredibly difficult, and honestly, at first it really is. But the reason we do this is because it acts as a rigid, unyielding cap. It stops lifestyle creep dead in its tracks. When your income inevitably goes up, your baseline survival doesn't just automatically devour it. You're enforcing a powerful discipline on your living costs that actually protects your future wealth from your current desires. Now, what's really interesting about this is that remaining massive 40% chunk, this capital is strictly, non-negotiably reserved for building your future. You are setting it aside exclusively for investments and income-producing assets. Let's be very clear here. This is not some emergency fund to fix a flat tire or repair a leaky roof. No way. This is your growth engine. This is the seed money you'll use to build entirely new sources of income. By fiercely protecting this 40%, you are essentially hiring your own money to go out and work for you, rather than just trading your time for a paycheck forever. Which leads us perfectly into section 3, shifting your financial mindset. To really grasp the power of this, let's just walk through a little mathematical scenario, comparing two different timelines. Imagine timeline A. You currently earn $6,000 a month, but you need $5,000 of it just to maintain your baseline lifestyle. Even with a decent income, your wealth-building potential is deeply constrained because you're running at near maximum capacity. Now imagine timeline B. You still earn that exact same $6,000, but you have aggressively trained yourself to live on just $3,000. Suddenly, the entire equation flips. You now have a massive surplus, literally thousands of dollars available every single month to build your future. The impact of a raise or a bonus is pretty minimal when your lifestyle consumes almost everything, but the wealth-building potential becomes absolutely massive when you've trained yourself to be happy and comfortable on far less. You aren't just saving money, you are literally buying back your future freedom. So the crucial point is, The strategy here isn't just to scrimp, save, and be totally miserable. Listen to this. The goal is to create a situation where you're forced to increase your income because you're no longer willing to live on 100% of what you currently earn. The key word there is forced. The 60-40 rule actually manufactures a healthy, productive pressure. If you want a nicer car or a bigger house, you can't just expand your spending bucket. You have to figure out how to increase your overall income so that that 60% slice grows large enough to support the exact lifestyle you want. It completely transforms your desire for luxury into this powerful motivation to just go out and earn more. And that brings us to Section 4, building your income machine. This strategy gives you two distinct opportunities to build wealth simultaneously, essentially working on both ends of the spectrum at once. First, you increase what you earn actively. As we just discussed, that's driven by the psychological pressure of your 60% lifestyle target pushing you to level up your career or your business. Second, you increase what your money produces, because that 40% you are diligently setting aside gets invested. So you have a true two-pronged attack. You're pushing your active earnings up through sheer motivation while your investments simultaneously start pulling their own weight. Your money and your hustle are finally working in the exact same direction. So what's a perfect example of what you can build with that 40%? Well, digital assets. These are incredibly powerful income-producing tools. Why? Because they can potentially work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Imagine having an asset like a piece of software, a digital product, or even an online content portfolio that just operates around the clock. It doesn't need to sleep, it doesn't take weekends off, and most importantly, it doesn't require you to constantly trade your precious hours for dollars. You are literally making money while you sleep. Over time, the core objective is for this 40% investment portion to compound and evolve into a self-sustaining, income-producing machine of its very own. When you put it all together, the progression is just elegantly simple, a true cause and effect loop. It starts when you push yourself to earn more, but crucially, you cap your lifestyle at 60% of that income. Because you exercise that strict discipline, you naturally have a 40% surplus left over. You then take that 40% and invest it into building robust assets. Over time, those assets begin to create their own passive income. And as that passive income grows, you hit the ultimate goal. You drastically reduce your dependence on the money you earn from your daily labor. You just keep repeating this cycle until the money generated passively from your assets covers absolutely all of your living expenses. And guys, that is what true, unshakable financial freedom looks like. Which leaves us with one final, absolutely essential question. Are you ready to stop living on 100% and start building your income machine? I want you to take a hard look at your paycheck allocation today. Really audit where every single dollar is going. Breaking the cycle isn't easy, and restraining your lifestyle goes against literally everything consumer culture teaches us. But setting that strict 60-40 boundary is the very first, vital step toward making your money work for you instead of the other way around. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to take that first step today.